Welcome to your CARY, North Carolina market update for October 2025. And I got to tell you, it's been a crazy year so far. Things are definitely slower this year than they were last year. Expectations were that it was going to be even slower by this time this year, but thankfully it's not quite as slow as a lot of people expected. The reason for people expecting it to be slow was, well, when the tariff wars were first announced, a lot of people were very, very concerned about how that would affect inflation, that it would prompt inflation. So a lot of buyers looked at that and said, well, wait a minute, I can't buy a house right now because I'm afraid the prices are going to go up. And then we had a situation where the federal government was canceling contracts or canceling grants, and that affects the triangle market enormously. Huge employers like Duke University, UNC, RTP, all those people were losing, all those institutions were losing a lot of contracts and grants. And so that really slowed down buying here in the triangle area. And then there's a situation about interest rates in general. They've been pretty high. They were up close to 7% at the start of this year. And all this year, buyers have been expecting interest rates to go down under 6. Well, let me show you exactly what's happened here, folks. Let's go to the tape, as they say, and check out where the interest rates are right now. In order to do that, I always like to go to the Freddie Mac website, which gives us an average of interest rates all over the country. And right now it's at 6.3%, which is not that low. It's not anywhere near as low as it needs to be, and certainly not as low as buyers were expecting and hoping. And Feds cut their interest rates on September 17th, but they only did it for 0.25%. So mortgage rates are still way too high, at least as far as some people hope and expect. I will make an argument that now's a good time to buy a house in spite of 6.3% interest rates, and I've got a video that addresses that. I'll put a link on that for that here in the remarks. But for right now, things have been slow. And let's focus a little bit here on CARY, exactly what's happening in CARY. Well, let's start by seeing what's happening with month supply of inventory for the triangle area in general. It's up to 3.5% month supply of inventory compared to 2.9 at the same time last year. So it's headed in the wrong direction if you're a seller. It's headed in the right direction if you're a buyer. More inventory means more choices, but 3.5 is still pretty low comparatively. That's the triangle in general. Let's drill down a little deeper and see what's happening in Wake County. Wake County, month supply of inventory here on the bottom of this chart is at 3.3. So a little bit better than the triangle in general. Compare that at the same time last year, it was at 2.5. So inventory is coming up. Here's something everybody needs to look at, which is days on market until sale. Last year at this time it was 18 days. Now it's 26 days. So that's a significant increase. Here's another significant change, and that is percent of original list price received. Right now, today, it's at 96.1%. So that's a little bit of a price adjustment. Last year, it was at 98%. So more sellers are seeing price adjustments, having to do price adjustment in order to get it under contract. That's Wake County. Let's drill down a little deeper and see what's happening in CARY. Well, CARY is probably the bright spot as far as the triangle is concerned. Only 2.7 months supply of inventory. That's still up compared to last year at 1.8, but 2.7 is significantly less than 3.5 or 3.6. So that's pretty good. What are days on market until sale happening? Well, 25 days today compared to 14 days last year. And yeah, percent of original price received, still at 96.3%. So even in CARY, some home sellers are having to adjust prices or give a little bit more of a concession in order to get under contract. That's what's happening in CARY. CARY is still a strong seller's market, but there are a lot of opportunities for buyers if you're really looking hard in CARY. Let me show you some examples. First of all, I want to point out that the average sales price in CARY right now is at $668. That's pretty high. The triangle area in general is still right around 400,000. So that's a significant increase, 668. Things are expensive in CARY, but if you look, you can find some pretty good deals. Let me give you an example. So if 668 is the average price point, let's take a look at what's currently available in CARY in the $600,000 price range. So that's from 600 to 700. At the top of the range here, we've got a pretty nice house here in Kildare Farms, asking 700. It's an older house, built in 1976. I'm going to show you a little bit more about this house and the neighborhood in general. But let's go to the bottom of this list, and you'll see a much newer house built in 2019, asking 619, and that's in Brickyard. The Brickyard neighborhood is a much more newer construction neighborhood. You'll see homes built in there in the 2019, 2020, 2021 time period. So 2019 compared to 1976. What's up with 1976? Well, that's Kildare Farms. And Kildare Farms is a neighborhood I want to spotlight right now because it's actually one of my favorite neighborhoods. Let's see what's happening actually in Kildare Farms. Kildare Farms only has 4 homes on the market right now, priced between 700 all the way down to 360. Wow, you can get a house in Cary for 360. It's a kind of a small house, 1435 square feet, but it's still 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It's a pretty nice house. We'll take a look at that in just a second. First, I want to point out what I like about Kildare Farms. Kildare Farms is a planned urban development, and in fact, it's the very first planned urban development ever done in North Carolina. What is a planned urban development? It's a development, a neighborhood, a subdivision that's not just a grid of streets. You know, you take a piece of land and you cut it up in streets, and you've got blocks, and there you go. You can build houses on those blocks. A planned urban development goes a little bit further. It's designed to have green spaces incorporated. Kildare Farms has lots of mixed uses. It has townhomes, condos, in addition to single-family homes. It has greenways and trails all the way through the neighborhood. There's a nice lake in Kildare Farms. It's quite a large neighborhood, 967 acres, over 1,100 homes in Kildare Farms. So it's quite a large. It's amazing to see only 4 homes on the market, in spite of the fact there's 1,100 houses in that neighborhood. That's not a whole lot. Most of the homes are built in 1976 to 1988, and the homes range from about 1,200 square feet to 3,800 square feet. Let's take a deeper dive. Let's see what we actually have available today. And this first home at 1404 Rock Creek Lane, asking 700, just came on the market. What do we got here? It is a larger home. It is over 3,000 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 full baths, built in 1976. Take a look at the house itself. I'm not a big fan of this first picture. Way too much driveway. It's like, okay, we're selling a driveway with a house attached. That's what I think of when I see this. Not good marketing, folks. Let's take a little bit deeper dive. A little bit better picture of the house. A little bit better still. Maybe that would be the picture I would use for the first picture of the house to draw people into the house. Then back to the driveway here, not a good move. Okay, we've got some hardwoods here, parquet hardwoods, in fact, which is a little bit dated, but kind of nice. Decent sized living room with interesting ceiling there. It looks like we got some virtual staging. Hardwoods, everybody loves hardwoods, okay? Yeah, that's virtual staging. Kind of a dated kitchen. It's unfortunate you're going to get a dated kitchen for $700,000. That's kind of what you're going to get in Cary. So you got to look out for that. And then, yeah, not a bad kitchen, but not great. Carpet, pretty decent primary bath. That's a decent house. That's worth taking a look at. Let's go to the next house here, which is 103 Lakeway Court. I hate it when the agent gives directions coming soon. It's been on the market 35 days. How soon are those directions coming? Give me some directions to your house. Don't let me just rely on GPS. Not a good first picture of the house either here. You can't really see the house. There's just a big tree in the way, too much shadow. This has a carport, not a garage. And oh, look at that carport. It has the attic access open there. That's just not a good look. I'm not a big fan of that. Are you? What do you think of that? A little bit better picture of the front of the house. Not a lot of landscaping going there. You can see the house to the left is pretty close by, so you know this is a much smaller lot. Looks like we've got some hardwoods. Interesting ceiling, a wood ceiling. I kind of like that personally. Once again, virtual staging, lots of hardwoods. People love hardwoods. You're going to get a lot of hardwoods with older houses here in North Carolina. So that's something to look forward to. A decent kitchen, need more pictures of the kitchen, and then virtual staging on the primary bedroom. A decent primary bathroom. Looks like it's been updated, upgraded. So that's a decent house. How much is that one asking? Oh, 519. It's significantly less. How big is it? 1845 square feet. Next house to look at is, come on, computer, here we go. I don't like it when the first picture of the house is something interior like this. I really want to see the outside of the house. And also, this is not a great picture of the kitchen, to be honest with you. There's a nice picture of the front of the house. I'd rather have seen this. So not great. That's a really nice front porch. Although you coulda, shoulda, woulda power washed that gutter there with all that dirt on that gutter. Not good marketing on that one either. Looks like some virtual staging. Nice deck in the back. Nice. That's kind of a nice picture, although it does have a lot of driveway. Once again, something a driveway with the house attached. That's a nice picture too of the front of the house. Really nice front porch. Wood ceiling on the front porch. Hardwoods once again. So that's a decent house there. And how much are we asking for that house? $499. Huh, pretty good, pretty good. And then finally, the last one at 360. Listen, it's hard to find a house in Cary at 360. What have we got here? Not a great picture of the front of the house again. In fact, this looks like one of those computer-generated dust pictures. If you go to the next picture, yeah, that's the original picture taken during the day. Could have done a different angle on this front of this house to get a little bit more perspective of the house. That's the living room, obviously, and looks like the furniture is a little bit big, kind of a smallish kitchen, but it's stainless steel appliances. Yeah, the furniture is a little bit big for the house. I would have done a little bit better staging on this one. Um, but this one, oh, updated bathrooms here. Yeah, worth a look. Split level. That's a neat house. As I say, only 360. Not a great view out the back. Got a parking lot in the back, but this is one of those. This is what we call a patio home. So it's a much smaller lot. Um, that's one of the reasons it costs only 360. So there you go, folks. There's a bit of a snapshot of a nice neighborhood in Cary Kildare Farms. There are lots and lots of great neighborhoods in Cary. Lots of different opportunities. I mean, prices will range from the 200s. You can get some condos and townhomes in the 200s in Cary to well over a million, well over 2 or 3 million in Cary. Contact me for more information about Cary. We love to sell homes in Cary, North Carolina, and we know all about it. I've been in business since 2003, so I know the neighborhood, know the neighborhoods, I know the market. If you have a house to sell in Cary, I'd love to talk to you about that. It takes a knowledgeable real estate agent to help a seller get top dollar in this crazy market. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of this video, okay? And hope you'll subscribe to our channel. I appreciate your time. And as I said, I welcome your questions, any questions you've got, okay? Look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks.